Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Today is Friday, as Darren Hardy says, Friday, June 6th, 2025, the first Friday of the month. My name is Edward Bevilacqua, and here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and other people experience this life. That's it. What we do is not a big deal. We don't take it too seriously. How do we do it? Well, we mainly do it by just showing up, building better habits. However, the real stuff, the meat and potatoes, is in the worksheet down below, which is also on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, our website, YouTube. So it is a worksheet that has all of the experts talking about the things that you should do all the things you could do to help you experience this life to the fullest, to honor the gift of life. Was there an earthquake here? Why is this thing shaking? Okay, so yesterday was a pretty good day. Good TV interview. We will have the link to that probably by the 11th. It airs on the 10th. It's a really good shoe. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's Dr. Evil. Is that his name? Dr. Evil? And today is Friday. So, working our way through the stuff of it all. So the meme of today, the memo of today, be willing to be unreasonable. What? I don't get it. Be willing to be unreasonable. Shouldn't we always be reasonable? Well, Darren Hardy talks about that today, so we will get into that a little bit later. But there is a theme to today, not just a meme, there's a theme. So we'll start with the first red letter. Advice from an 80-year-old: never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. You know, it's so easy to write people off rather than fix the problem. Well, I'll just write them off. Life is so short in the cosmic scheme of things, in the actual scheme of things, in the planetary scheme of things. Life is so short. Why write people off? One bit of advice I was given, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe less, long time ago, was the attitude, the disposition of, I don't like writing people off. And I think that's the best way to view it. I don't like writing people off. It doesn't mean I won't, it means I don't like it. I don't like to write people off. And the advice from an 80-year-old is, miracles happen every day. Don't write people off. So that's the first red letter. The second one, let's go to Seth Godin. Burning bridges. Burning bridges. I'm burning bridges. Building a bridge is far more difficult than maintaining one. While it's tempting to imagine that we're always racing forward, it's far more likely we'll benefit from traveling over this bridge again one day soon. Okay, when you burn the bridge, you write somebody off, right? If they're written off, that person, the benefits of the person, positive things about the person, they are gone. So Seth Godin is giving us another way to look at it. It's difficult to build a bridge, or it's time consuming or expensive. It's easy to destroy it, or just never decide, I'm never going to go cross that bridge again. I'm not going to destroy it, but I'm not going to go near it. It's easy to do that, hard to build, takes a lot of energy to do. That's like relationships and people. Don't write people off. And so we've got Darren Hardy now. So we've got advice from an 8-year-old. Don't write people off. What is it exactly? Where's the wording? Okay, who stole it? Here it is. Never give up on anybody. Okay, miracles happen every day. Don't write people off. Darren Hardy. Seth Godin talking about burning bridges. Now, Darren Hardy is a different one. The one thing all great achievers have in common. So he talks about Elon Musk. He talks about Jeff Bezos. He talks about Steve Jobs. The people who really achieved a lot. And the one thing they were willing to do, which Darren Hardy says all great achievers are willing to do this, is to be unreasonable, to not go along with what everybody says, to not write off your own ideas. How about that? To not write off your own ideas. Be willing to be unreasonable, so that would be having the courage of your commitment, or the commitment, courage of your commitments. It's nice to be committed to something, but to have the courage to actually do it when other people are writing you off. How about that? I think that's the unreasonable part. If you do that, we're not going with you. Well, I'm doing it anyway. You'll lose everything. Well, I have faith and confidence that I won't. Be willing to be unreasonable. Okay, Derek Sivers. Let's see if we can strap him into this. So this is day 5, week 3 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. So this week, the theme of this week is outside our skull-sized kingdom. What does that mean? That basically means to be aware, conscious of what is going on with other people. Other people think the same thing we think. Everything revolves around me. We need to work together. We need to get other people to help us. Our visions, dreams, ambitions, etc., we need to accomplish them. We need other people. So yes, Elon Musk, Bezos, Steve Jobs, unreasonable, but they got other people to help them. They didn't do it alone. In fact, what Darren Hardy said about Steve Jobs is the reality distortion field. I know somebody else that does that too. Reality distortion field. And that's a compliment. Where Steve Jobs could get other people to see reality the way he did, which, because it did not occur, was a reality distortion. He was willing to be unreasonable. And he didn't write people off if they didn't believe him, but he didn't stop what he was doing. So this week, it's how do we get people on our boat, on our journey? How do we attract them to be on our journey? And Monday, we learned from David Logan, USC, join a tribe, nudge it forward. That's the easiest way to do it. Get with a bunch of people that have the same thoughts and beliefs you have and nudge them forward. Hey, why don't we try this? Why don't we do that? That is leadership. That is getting people to share your vision. Tuesday, Seth Godin. Well, how do we nudge them forward? 4 steps. Find something to change. Tell a compelling story. Connect with the true believers. Ignore the non-true believers. And lead them. Okay, cool. How do we tell a compelling story? Well, Simon Sinek tells us how to do that on Wednesday. And the answer is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The compelling story is why we need to change the status quo, not how we're going to change it, not what we're going to change. It's why we need to change the status quo. And then it's who's coming with me. Day 4, was David Phillips talking about the story before the story, the idea of bonding with people, getting them to see the world the way you see it before you tell them the compelling story. And if they see the world the way you see it, you tell them the compelling story, and then what? They'll do it. So, and then today, Derek Sivers wraps it all up, gives an example of a 3-minute event, or an event in over a 3-minute period. Somebody goes from being a lone nut, which is a leader before anybody's following him, goes from being a lone nut to a leader. And a lot of the focus is on the first followers. And does that apply to Jesus? Yeah, it probably does. The typical Protestant view, if you say to a Protestant, what was Jesus doing a week before he was baptized? Because his ministry took off once he's baptized. What was he doing before that? Right. Well, what happened after that? That's when he started getting his followers. And once he had followers, he became what? A leader. He might have been a lone nut before his baptism. He might have been saying the same things before he was baptized as he said after he was baptized, but he didn't have any followers. So, so Derek Sivers really explores the thing of the value, the importance of first followers, and that goes for all of us too. Is we could be Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. We could be those guys, but if we don't have anybody helping us, we're just science fiction writers. We're just creative people who don't actually do anything. And I'm not criticizing that. I'm not putting a value judgment on that, but it just seems like it would be a lot better if you have these great ideas that they were shared. And this week we learned how to share them, get others to help us on that journey, on that path. Okay, so we're 12 minutes in. Let's see, what else do we have on our hit parade? Daily Stoic, and an interesting one, be transparent. Those are my words. That was not his theme. Ryan Holiday talks about a Roman guy, a Roman architect goes to somebody presumably wealthy and says, you know, people can see into your house. I would be happy, if you pay me, I would be happy to get it so people can't see what you're doing. And Roman villas typically were on the outside was a big wall, and the courtyard and everything was on the inside. So once you got through the gate, the initial gate, was like, wow, this is beautiful. You've got a beautiful house. But from the street, nobody knew what was going on. And there are a lot of practical reasons for that, which we won't go into. So in this story, the architect says to the person, you know, people can see in. If you want, I can fix that problem for you. And the guy said, you know what? How about if I pay you to take it all down, to open it all up, so nothing is hidden? And the point was to be transparent. And the question was, you know, how would you feel if about sausage if you saw how the sausage was made? Right? Would that be a better world? Would it be better if everything was transparent? Versus the way we're going is we need to keep more and more things not transparent. And, you know, when people say, like what? It would be like, well, your Facebook persona, is that actually you, or is that a projection of who you want people to perceive you as? And if it's who you want people to perceive you as, how far can it be from who you actually are before you start becoming a little bit self-conscious about it? Like, that's not really me. And other people, like, you know, what you're putting on Facebook is not really you. And if that's the kind of person you are, we got some things we got to deal with here. So that is the concept. We're 15 minutes in. Today is Friday, big day. Let's quickly see if we got anything else on our hit parade. Oh yeah, we've got one from Daniel Amen. Where did that one go? Daniel Amen. 7 lessons from murderers' brain scans. Yeah, their brains are different. Who knew? Yeah, well, that's common sense that they would be different. So that's a good little thing. Okay, I think we should just wrap it up. It's Friday, big day, a lot of things to happen. Last day of the week, one more opportunity to make something happen. Go out and do something good. Honor the gifts that we have been given. Don't burn bridges. Reach out to people who maybe you haven't spoken to for a while. Maybe you were the last time you were together did not end ideally, and you're nurturing a wounded heart, spirit. Maybe you caused undue harm to somebody, unintentional undue harm. Maybe today reach out. It's easy to send a text. You know, these things go both directions. Easy to send a text. Just, hey, I was thinking about you today. Be willing to be unreasonable. Right? Be willing to be unreasonable and never give up on anybody. Okay. I think it's better to say, I don't like to write people off. If I have to, I will, but I don't like it. Okay, so with that, we're going to say, and cut,